After a bit of break, here I am. There was a slime rain just now, and these are all the spoils. And there's the full ninja set. Well, I'm gonna sell most of this stuff since I already have it. Let's make Edmund even more rich. Again, I could make a joke about Edmund McMillan. Oh yeah, it's a windy day, so the merchant is selling pinwheels. It's kind of fun. I guess it's a nice indicator of it, if it's a windy day or not. Albeit it has its own music. And there are enough indicators in general. Alright, this is where all my ore is. I keep getting mixed up with the other worlds. The ninja set would have been nice because it gives you increased movement speed. So if you have no other armor, it's pretty decent combined with the crit chance. I took off the cloak. This hat, although it's apparently the vanity item of a specific streamer, I think it goes well with the other stuff I happen to be wearing and the fact that I'm using bees. So when it comes to off-camera work, I went around here and it didn't take very long. I found the Aether biome and I set up a couple of houses there. I also found another spider nest, which I think is probably going to be better than the one I found before, which I don't even remember where it was exactly. Alright, it was here. Yeah. Maybe they're kind of even. But that's just underground, whereas this is a blend of underground and tundra. Oh great, now because of the Ultra Kill update, I'm thinking of Agony and Tundra. Damn it. So I did some angler quests, and I had to fish near the Crimson here. So my bees are killing lots of enemies, and one of them dropped the tentacle spike, which is just a broadsword melee weapon. But I thought that was kind of neat, so I wanted to show it. Opening a crate, I got sailfish boots, which are just like Hermes boots. But one thing I didn't realize is that since they're a different item, you can equip both of them at the same time. And I'm not sure if they stack. Maybe they do. Or maybe you would need boots with a movement speed bonus, so you can stack them that way, but at that point you might as well be wearing aglets and anklets. Anklets of the Wind, I think, increase your... Well, you can only have one anklet of the Wind, because they have the same name. You can't have duplicate accessories. Anyway, there are ways to stack accessories and stuff. I've never felt it necessary. When I was digging around, I found some suspicious looking eyes, so I fought the Eye of Cthulhu twice, and I got its cosmetic item. I think you saw enough of the cat, so I'll leave the gato egg over here. I reloaded my game because there seemed to be something wrong with my game capture, so some of my buffs are gone. The War Tables buff doesn't run out unless you cancel it manually or you leave the world, close the game, something like that. Or if you die. That's also a thing. Yeah. The game would do that. Technically, I only need a few ladybugs in my piggy bank. There's a specific reason I've left them in there. But I want most of them in the water chest over here, so that I can make potions with them. Potions that I still haven't farmed the other materials for. Another thing I was digging, which there's no sign of, the rare creatures detector, that is to say the life form analyzer, detected a golden worm around here somewhere. I didn't have a hunter potion on me, which I don't think I even have any yet. You make hunter potions with shark fins, but farming sharks is kind of annoying, so I never bother to do that. But it would have been nice in that one instance, because having a gold worm with the Aether is, well, you'll see. I'll take the angel statue right now. For reasons. Now let's go into the cavern pylon. Because this is underground. I left the demolitionist here because I know he loves the underground. And I left one of the pet slimes with him. Okay, these portraits are kind of cute. Because that's enough to activate the pylon. So this, first of all, I really love this effect. Any darkness is replaced with this starry background. This is the Aether mini biome, I think it is. And this is Shimmer, a liquid with some really weird properties. For example, this squirrel, which these jeweled squirrels appear when you have housing underground, because housing changes spawn rates. You notice these squirrels turn into gemstones when they fall into the shimmer. And there are many items that can be transformed when you throw them in, like the angel statue, which gives you an Aether monolith. Vanity item can be placed wearable. Witness a glimpse of the Aether's power. It can be used to manifest or suppress the Aether. It just activates this visual background effect in other areas. A gold rabbit, where? That's what I saw earlier, but it said gold worm. Gold critters are exceedingly rare and kind of nice. You can sell them for 10 gold. You can collect them if you want to catch them all. I don't. There's some very special things with Shimmer. One thing, it can transmute items into other items. So I already have mining pants, but if I toss this extra pair in, I get a mining shirt. So now I have the full mining set, and I can equip it to my second loadout. Now I can gain 30% mining speed at will. That's nice. Another thing, the peddler's hat, the mana crystal, any fruit. Lemons are fruits, right? It's citrus, and I'm pretty sure oranges are fruits. And oranges are also citrus. That's sound logic, right? Anyway, who cares? All of these items turn into permanent upgrade items. Some more useful than others. Is that all of them? Yeah, I think it is. Excuse me, I'm just being silly with my inventory. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Probably, but anyway. The Vital Crystal boosts life regen. You can use that once per character. The Arcane Crystal is mana regeneration, which is kind of pointless. I have maxed out mana because eventually summon items will use more and more. Wait. Summoning items no longer use mana? Really? When was that change made? Okay, I guess my mana is worthless then. The hell? The Peddler's Satchel permanently increases items sold by the traveling merchant. I think he'll sell one more item than usual. And Ambrosia permanently increases mining and building speed. There's just no reason not to grab these, and the Shimmer will be useful in the future as well for a lot of miscellaneous things. Oh, here's another use for it, actually. I think this was added in this latest update. If I throw any pylon in here, it becomes an Aether pylon. And now I can put a cavern pylon somewhere else and have underground housing in a different location. Yeah, I like building houses into the tunnels here, because that's how the Aether always generates. And I think the Aether always has glowing moss around it, which makes it easier to locate. They might have made that change at some point. So when I saw the glowing moss here, I kind of realized that I just need to head to the center of it. And it's always on the same side as the jungle, as I said. I think first it checks this area that's outside the jungle, and if somehow there's no valid place to generate it, it generates it inside of the jungle itself. Or so the wiki says. Reminder, use wiki.gg, not fandom, never fandom. It's like a public service announcement. So here's an example of this Aether pylon. It's like it's nighttime. I really enjoy that, actually, and I do have a clock, so I'll just leave this on. So, one thing about gold critters, something I haven't made yet, a cooking pot. That's right. I'm gonna eat it! Has anyone watched The Mask, the animated series? For some reason I watched it a lot as a kid. Any gold critter makes a golden delight, which gives you the best food buff for 48 minutes, which I think is a reference to the periodic table. I'm gonna stash that away for later. It'll definitely come in handy. Now, is there anything else? I guess I should check my notes. Some of the favorited items in my inventory are effectively in-game notes. Lightning struck the Eternia crystal. Oof, that's what I wrote down. Yeah, I noticed when watching the video back. It can damage, I think, the enemies and the crystal. Lightning does not discriminate, so if I just barely lost, then the lightning would have made the difference in making me lose. That's pretty funny. What else? Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention about Deerclops is she has this ranged attack where she just sweeps up the ground and throws a bunch of snow, which is dozens and dozens of projectiles. It's really dangerous. She mostly uses it if you're above her, I think. It's sort of an anti-cheese attack. You could dodge it if you were really good, but it's way harder than Deerclops' usual behavior. So I wouldn't recommend letting that happen. Oh, and I actually wrote down fought Eye of Cthulhu twice after looking for Shimmer. I already said that. That is all. Oh, there's one more thing. I got a fuzzy carrot from doing angler quests. After doing the first few, this is a guaranteed reward. I forget how many quests it was, though. It gives you a giant rabbit mount. It's fairly quick. I might use it. And I do think the slimy saddle is good for vertical mobility with a mount, because it jumps very high and very fast, and it has increased gravity, which is kind of weird, but it's definitely very useful. Another thing to point out, I got the Squire's shield, but there are actually 4 total accessories that are different, but do the exact same thing of giving you +1 max sentry and 10% summon damage. So I could fight the Dark Mage several times in order to get all of those. But I think I only need the 1. It's hard to fit in that many accessories that just give you damage. Now I think I'm more than prepared if morning wasn't approaching because I need to do it at night to fight Skeletron and enter the dungeon. I was meaning to do that earlier, but I just ran out of time. Is there anything else I could do meanwhile? Oh, there is one thing actually. Well, first of all, I'll do a fishing quest because I don't think I've shown one on camera. I might as well for completion's sake. If you're hearing some slight vibration, that's my phone. I don't want to miss certain alerts. There it is again. Let me know if it's annoying and I'll switch off vibration as well. Surface tundra, that's exactly where I fished before. Oh, I don't think I've shown the dye trader. Where the hell did this slime come from again? I can't remember. That slime was on a balloon. Was this slime inside King Slime? Or was it the nerdy slime? Because the nerdy slime was blue. I'm just overthinking things. Oh, I haven't actually seen his portrait before. Seems fine to me. He sells a crafting station to make dye with Easter block. What? Huh. I've never noticed that before. I assume it's just a building block. Ah, I see. That's fun. It makes the same sound as ice when you break it. I guess if it's supposed to be painted eggshell, that makes sense. But yeah. It's just clothing dye is all. I guess I might as well place it here. Although I'm not sure if I want him to be in the tundra, but it's alright. Easter workbench. Okay, this is all new to me. I guess I could get into the spirit. You know what? Let me just buy up a bunch of this. Maybe I'll mess with it later. Oh, and since I fought the Eye of Cthulhu, I got maybe 50 gold from selling all of its drops because evil ore is quite valuable. Right, I went there to fish. Don't get distracted, you. I hate it when I do that. So maybe at some point you'll see a giant Fabergé egg house. I can see myself doing that. I'm a little more motivated to build because of this series when compared to my usual playthroughs where I don't bother. There's one really sad story actually. There was a world I put a ton of effort into. I made so many different builds. My base was a gigantic tree house. And inside of it I had this massive room that I filled with all of the terrariums for all of the critters. I finally collected all of them in one world. I was super proud of it, and I didn't back it up. And that's when my PC got hacked and I lost everything. Had to contact, oh, there's the penguin fish. Had to contact Valve support, and then I still had a bunch of malware. At the end of the day, I reinstalled my operating system, and by the time I thought about playing Terraria again, I hadn't realized that I lost my favorite world. Sad. So sad. Yeah, the bug net is actually a material, even though I got a better one, so I'll leave it in here. Actually, wait a minute. Can catch lava critters too. Okay, so I don't need to upgrade that bug net. This one's faster. If I switch off the Guide to Peaceful Coexistence, it's capable of cutting grass, so if I just walk through here, Well, I accidentally caught a bird. Essentially, it can cut grass and immediately grab any critter that spawns from the grass, like a grasshopper, and more worms. So you can just run around like that. I think the gold bug net is supposed to be a reference to, oh, what was it called? Animal Crossing, right. I've never played Animal Crossing, but I am familiar with it. Maybe I could use these critters later. Oh yeah, when I was crossing the world off camera, I left a bunch of logs. I don't know how to describe them. They're horizontal logs on the ground with, like, I think some mushrooms growing out of them. During nighttime, fairies can spawn around those logs, and you can put them in jars for animated decoration and light source. I have an idea of where I'm gonna put those later on in the game. Okay, still need to kill more times, so where would be, this is a good place to reach the underground desert, which this is actually the main desert biome, which has an expansive underground area. It stretches at least this far. The desert over here, I'm pretty sure, has regular underground caves beneath it. And yes, a combination of playing the game for really long and reading the wiki led me to know all of this about world generation. The finer points are thanks to the wiki. I guess I could just mine that up. I think the meteors deal maybe as much damage as the whip. Or as the hit that triggers the meteors. I guess that's good. Yeah, I want to go over here. I have some Spelunker potions in my piggy bank, so I'm gonna make use of those. There really isn't much that I want from the underground desert, but one particular thing could be useful. Unfortunately, that thing requires me to find another thing. I now realize these round cacti are like boulders, except they explode into shrapnel. I think you're supposed to go here relatively early in the game, but at least on high difficulties, this place is way too dangerous. Oh yeah, there is the Bast statue. Increases defense by 5 when placed nearby. It's just good. There's no reason not to place that wherever you're gonna fight a boss or an event or anything, really. Strictly speaking, you can carry the statue with you everywhere. This is what I want, sturdy fossils. So I'm just going to mine and kill those worms until it becomes nighttime. And then I'll head into the dungeon. That's our agenda for today. I don't have to mine out all these blocks. What am I doing? These are desert fossils. Kind of interesting. They crumble when you try to mine them. So you'll break one, and then the ones orthogonally adjacent might disappear as well. It didn't used to be that way. I think because they generate in such large amounts, that was an attempt to nerf how much desert fossils you can get from mining, but I don't really see the point. You can still get a practically infinite amount of them anyway. Oh, the encumbering stone. I forgot about that. Prevents item pickups while locked. Right click to unlock. That's kind of cool, honestly. I'll try to use it. Yeah, I can't pick up the sandstone chest. There's a specific machine that I need that you cannot craft for some reason to extract useful things from these desert fossils, including sturdy fossils. If I don't find it on camera now, I'll look for it off camera in between this part and the next. I wish I found this as a mage. Oh, I clipped through a block. Did you see how I zipped upwards? I think that's a bug promoted to feature when they introduced slopes. Which I don't know if I mentioned. You can hammer blocks to turn them into half blocks, slopes. Upside down slopes, I think, and eventually back into regular tiles. So yeah, the Thunder Zapper is actually a pretty cool staff. It might not even be bad right now. What the hell? I'll replace the gun with it. I maxed out my mana for no reason otherwise. When it comes to fishing, it's worth noting that every biome has a biome-specific crate that can be fished up, and that crate will always contain one random unique item from the chest loot tables of the biome. So that's a way of getting stuff that you might be missing. But fishing is boring and those crates are very rare, so I wouldn't really bother. Unless you're out of options. Antlions are kind of funny. That's what that enemy right there was. They spit sand at you and the sand actually places tiles, so because of antlions, sand is technically renewable. I don't know what it would take to farm the attack of antlions for sand, though. In any case, I think you'd need to be playing on a server with a lot of people for renewable resources to matter all that much, and all of those people would want to do lots of builds and other things. I don't know, I think massive multiplayer servers in Terraria don't really make as much sense as they would in, say, Minecraft. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to find that device myself later. Just finished digging this vein. It's worth noting both meteorite and the fossils cannot be collected with explosives. You have to manually mine them. Also, last part, I completely forgot to place my flame burst towers. Would have been handy in a few places. I'll definitely place them now when I fight the boss that guards the dungeon. The name of whom I might have mentioned already, but I forget. Antlion mandibles can be used to create mining potions, which is kind of nice. Won't need desert torches or that. I guess archery potions are fine. Oh, a teleportation potion. That's really funny. It actually just takes you to a random location anywhere in the world. I'll kill another Eye of Cthulhu off camera later. The Undertaker has served me well, but I'm leaving it in there. And I think the fossils specifically are more valuable minerals, so I'll leave them in there. I might want to mess with the teleportation potion in the future, so I'll keep it. And off we go. I think I'm about as prepared as I can be for this. But did I build a platform? Yes, I did. Okay, so I left a campfire right at the old man's feet. I'll place one heart lantern here, and I'm actually going to leave it where it is. Because I have 12 of the damn things. Any excess life crystals I found, I've turned into heart lanterns. I don't think the peace candle really matters, but I will place a bass statue in the middle for that extra defense. Why is it wireable? That's something that confuses me. Maybe I can look into that later. They added the wireable tag to a lot of items to make it clearer that you can do circuitry with them. Which soon enough I'll be able to show that off. Do I need more buffs? Iron skin would be nice. Okay, okay. I won't waste too much time. One iron skin. You know, what the hell? I'll use magic power and mana regen since I'm gonna use the thunder zapper maybe. Although it could be that the star crash is just better. I might use it. Oh yeah, I forgot about this thing. Torch God's Favor. Nearby torches will be converted to match the biome for 8 minutes. I saw a mod do something like this. It was an added effect to the Torch God's Favor. But this is what Realogic decided to do to accomplish the same thing. Okay, I'm getting a little distracted. Roasted bird. I forgot that that's a thing. The bird I accidentally captured. I could make food out of it. Ooh. I think I still have enough time. Here we go. Just might be strong enough to free me from my curse. His dialogue changes depending on how geared up you are. I think it has something to do with your damage and defense, something like that. There's a Skeletron. Now, this is a basic ass Zelda boss, but in expert mode it's at least a little more interesting. The head has a massive amount of defense until you destroy the hands. In the default difficulty, you can just shoot the head and ignore the hands. But on expert and above, you essentially have phase 1, which is this. And then phase 2, once the hands are gone and you can actually damage the head effectively. I almost forgot about the flame burst towers. I think some enemies and bosses move faster on Master. Ha, that rhymes. Like I swear Skeletron catches up with me way too fast. It's not too bad. The hands definitely swing faster, that much is certain. Uh-oh. That dash key is so handy. I might have flubbed my dashes a lot if not for it. The hands move so much, my summons are kind of struggling to consistently hit them. Sentries and hornets alike. Uh-oh, I only have 3.5 minutes, I think. Just about to kill Skeletron. The defense is already reduced with one arm down, but I have to break both. There we go. So now I can finally make progress, and all phase 2 is Skeletron shoots these homing skulls. I need to make sure he's not flush with the walls so that all of my summons can do work. Time is of the essence. This is one of the only bosses in the game that has a serious penalty if you run out of time. Skeletron will turn into a dungeon guardian, which, as I explained, is practically immortal and can kill you in one hit. So I don't want that. Technically, if Skeletron is low enough on life, you can run away and try to finish him off even when he's in Dungeon Guardian mode, but I wouldn't recommend that. If it happens to work out that way, then good, but definitely don't go out of your way to do that. I wonder actually if... No, I think it still counts as Skeletron. I was wondering if summoning Skeletron right before the night ends could be a way of fighting a Dungeon Guardian after they can no longer spawn in your world, but I don't think that's how it works. Wait, I forgot to throw that out. Mana regeneration potions. The way mana works is... they kind of changed it recently, and I don't know the details of the changes, but... essentially, the more mana you have, the faster it regenerates, so you're encouraged not to spend all of it. A mana regen potion, however, makes it so that... your mana regeneration always considers your mana to be full. So, your mana regeneration is always at its maximum amount. So even if I spent all of it, it would refill really fast. And that's what I did as a mage. I just have a stack of mana regen potions, and I don't need mana potions. I just have this effect active pretty much the entire time. And whenever my mana's low, I stop firing my magic weapons for 3 seconds, and all of my mana's back. Pretty much. Do I want to use the... Sure. This is a fun hook. It gives you Skeletron hands. And the expert mode item is the bone glove, which... I don't know, do I want to use the bone glove? It's kind of fun. Or would I rather... No, I think I'd rather just have increased summon damage across the board. I'm pretty sure that when you summon anything, it goes off of whatever your summon damage multiplier is in the moment that you've summoned it. Like, if I gain summon damage somehow while these hornets are out, they're not gonna benefit from that. I would need to summon them again during the duration of the damage bonus. Unless they change that. I'm not sure if they have or not. Again, I haven't gone out of my way to read all the patch notes. I guess I'll keep the relic in here, and the web slinger, and the bone glove. I only have 2 bass statues, so I'm gonna take it back. That's what I meant about fidgeting with my inventory. Now that Skeletron is dead, I can go down here with no fear. These are crumbling blocks. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I can actually mine... Oh, yes I can. Fair enough. I think if you had a weaker pickaxe, you'd have some more trouble. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to mine any of the dungeon stuff other than the crumbling blocks. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, here's a new enemy from this update. It's kind of cool. It tosses books at you. And earlier I was trying to descend a little bit because there's a chance you can get a water candle before beating Skeletron. Which, while it's placed, you have the water candle effect, which increases spawn rates. Again, good for farming, like battle potions and luck. Oh yeah, I should take the other gold key out of my inventory. Out of my piggy bank, that is. The dungeon might be one of my favorite parts of the game, just because there's something resembling distinct level design down here. And it's pretty fun to loot this place. Even though the most common enemy is just a zombie with beefed up stats. There are other things as well that are more memorable than that, especially later in the game. Because I will be coming back here. And things will be different. Just walking on crumbling blocks will make them collapse, but mining them does the same thing. It's sort of like the fossil ore that I explained, except it chains and it's much more extreme. So when an adjacent tile crumbles, it can cause more adjacent tiles to crumble and so on. The reason I have the Guide to Peaceful Coexistence disabled is so that I can smash the pots. Because if it were on, I'd have to manually... Let me show it, actually. See, I can't break it. I'd have to use auto-select to mine it, but that takes multiple hits. So it's preferable for it to be off. Okay, so far it's been a whole lot of nothing. Oh, there's something good. 33% chance not to consume potion crafting ingredients. This is just like a bottle in that it lets you craft potions. So now I can make potions in bulk for maximum efficiency. No, don't shoot there. Kill that woman. This is the mechanic. You have to be able to get down here. Her portrait's cute. I quite like it. She sells all the wiring stuff that maybe I'll dabble in a little bit. And this is what the gold keys are for. The shadow key is one of the things I'm looking for in general. The enemies here absolutely will not leave you alone. This jumping wooden chest contains another slime pet. That costs a golden key, so I don't know if it was really worth it, but anyway. I have 2 damage sound vanity items here. I think I'll put on the cat one for now. It's a little weird, but sure. Ah, this is the thing that's particularly important for Summoner. The actual loot from the chests is not as big of a deal. There's one accessory that I want that's generically good, but the Bewitching Table gives you a permanent, or an infinite duration buff, much like the War Table, but it increases your max minions as opposed to sentries, which is excellent. So I basically gained 1 max minion effectively permanently. Dynamite is pretty useless. What was this thing again? Jump while holding down to slam downward. Slamming into the ground will deal damage to nearby enemies. Huh. Oh yeah, I did find that thing in my mage playthrough. Didn't really use it. I don't know if it makes you immune to fall damage. I assume it does. And I guess this is a prime place to use it. Oh hey, another key. That's good. That's very good. Old companion locket. I don't remember what sound that one makes. I'd be very happy about the magic missile if I were a mage. But then again, why not? You can fully control it with your cursor. It's pretty good. At some point they updated this type of missile weapon to cause an explosion on impact. And in this case, each missile can hit twice. At least that's what I remembered, but maybe it has to do with the explosion. Oh, hey. The Clothier Voodoo Doll. That's French, right? Pretty sure that's a French word. I'll put the most vital stuff in there. I actually want a duplicate of either the Bewitching Table or the Alchemy Table. It's another thing you can do with Shimmer. Ah, Cursed Skulls. You really don't want to touch those because they give you one of the worst status effects in the game, which is Curse. Curse prevents you from using any items. All you can do is move until it runs out. It's almost as bad as Freeze. I think Cursed Skulls are one of the few enemies that can inflict it. Off camera, I might run through here again and grab and place all of the paintings. Oh, that was a water bolt mimic. It's another new enemy. And the dungeon also contains these unique biome chests, which I tend to mark with an exclamation point of torches on the map. I think this is the only one I care about. So if I happen to get the desert key later in the game, which is currently impossible to get, that'll be very fun to use as a summoner. It's a summon weapon that's inside of it. Each of those chests has unique loot. I'll elaborate on how you get those keys in the future. I think I just want to open some gold chests. And that's it. Ah. That's a dungeon slime. Ah, that's a nice way to deal with it. Dungeon slimes are rare enemies, and they always drop golden keys. So if you see one, if your life form analyzer says that there is one somewhere on the edge of your screen, go look for it. It's very important. That's a reference to a classical painting, isn't it? I can't name it off the top of my head. Oh yeah, the enemies here drop bones. And I can use those to make a new whip. So all I need is that accessory, and I'll be happy. And I can definitively call it, because I wouldn't need anything else from the dungeon at this time. Yeah, some of these crumbling block spike traps are full of water because you can fish for dungeon crates to get even more of the dungeon drops if it just so happens that whatever you're looking for from the locked chests hasn't been generated. It'll still cost you golden keys to open those dungeon chests, though. These dark casters are exactly like the goblin mages, and I think I have the exact same problems with them. They can just sort of telefrag you out of nowhere. I think I need to go in this direction. Pretty sure I explored everything else. Nah, there's also a path to the right over there. That's precarious. I got cursed. Cannot use any items. Yep. Oh, but I can use the shield. Oh, that's interesting. Oh no. Oh, my life just flashed before my eyes. I've never been so happy to get heart drops from pots. Oh wait, the pots drop hearts that heal you when you pick them up. That's absolutely Zelda. Why did it take me so many years to realize that? Oh, that's the scream. Yeah, there are a lot of classical painting references. I can open 4 more chests. I need to free up my inventory a bit. Oh yeah, there's another thing I can do now that I've gained access to the dungeon. I can get even more inventory space, essentially. And yeah, even the dungeon has those dark traps. Kind of annoying, honestly. Ooh, a handgun. Turkey? Excuse me. What does that sound like? I love it. I don't think I found that one on the last playthrough. It's empty. Yeah, I can just quick stack into there. Should be doing that. Nothing up here, but I might as well take the I'm reminded of the turkey farmers who just walk into the middle of the flock and go gobble gobble, and all of the turkeys respond to it. I love that. The perks of the profession, huh? Or the screaming goat farms, that's another good one. Pretty sure spikes don't serve a purpose. Yeah, there's some wired lamps in a few areas. I guess you can save a minuscule amount of torches, as if that's important. The cursed skulls can drop something. I'm kind of looking out for it. Hey, tally counter. It's another informational accessory. I can combine it with these two. Free up a couple of slots. Okay, please. Damn it. Definitely want to save those. Already have one of those, but they stack, so I can get some extra money. And that's a really good melee weapon that I won't be using. Although, I'll save it anyway. Hoarding tendencies. I'll spare a few more minutes. I would really love it if I found everything that I want in here. I have never seen generation like that. 2 biome chests and another lock chest right in between them. I'll still do my thing. Just on the off chance I get some of these chests open later and I want to find them easily. Oh yeah, those are bone torches because of the torch god's favor. Yes! There is one more thing I would like, actually. Not to be greedy, but it's very minor the more I think about it. I can just run through here real fast. I don't need to open any more chests, I just need to find a duplicate of one of these tables that I already got, as I mentioned before. Well, I can always do that later. But as long as I'm here, I can reach the end of this path at least. Dungeon does go pretty deep. Honestly, if I mine out of the dungeon, I can reach the underworld this way. I'd actually do that. Maybe that's more fun than the alternative. It still gets me. Maybe that's too distracting of a damage sound. These summons are doing work. They can kill enemies all by themselves. And if something is beefier, I can just whip it and some meteorites fall. I have to say, although I like this whip, the effect of falling meteorites isn't really... Oh, actually, that's the other biome chest that a summoner would be interested in. I forgot about that. Don't want to clutter my inventory anymore. How did I dodge that arrow in such a narrow space? Okay, I'm past 1 hour. Sometimes I find a huge excess of bewitching tables and alchemy tables, but now... Ooh. I didn't feel like mining those spike blocks. Hey, there it is. Okay. Now I'm finished. Fortunately, a lot of this loot is unique. Where do I even begin? Muramasa. Go in here. The handgun is an amazing ranged weapon, and it has an upgrade. As you can see, it's a material. Where was I playing Ranger? Oh, it was in the Polarities mod playthrough. I think it's a full moon, so I'm going to harvest my deathweed. That's the only reason it would be blooming right now. And now all of my planter boxes are full. Feels good. Sell that. I guess these are vanity items technically, so I can put them in the dresser. Although they're maybe a little out of place compared to the other things. As much as the turkey one cracks me up, I'll switch to the fairy choker for now. I guess I can just stack the shadow keys together. The bone welder makes bone furniture out of these. I need to empty my... oh, all this trash. Yep. And place the Skeletron relic. Progress. Certainly feels like progress. I forgot about the Valor. Okay, now this is clean. Although my inventory sure isn't. I'll leave these keys in here. I can pick them up later. So the reason I left all this space is so I can replace this bottle right here with an alchemy table. I can place the bewitching table next to my bed, I guess. So if I die, I can just immediately use it to set the buff. And the remaining alchemy table I will toss into the shimmer. This is new in this update. Alchemy flask. Maybe that's familiar to some of you. There's also a Dead Cells collaboration, including vanity items, decorations, and at least one weapon that I've seen. So this thing, when you use it, you gain another infinite duration buff that when you use buff potions, like for example this Titan potion that lasts 8 minutes, I think it increases the duration by 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'm not sure because the display here rounds down, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. Oh, and one important upgrade. The Cobalt Shield makes you immune to knockback. And what I'm going to do is combine it with an Obsidian Skull for an Obsidian Shield, which combines the immunity to fire blocks with that, and it has one more defense point. The only question is, what do I replace? Am I genuinely going to get rid of the brain? Maybe. Feels kind of bad. Knockback immunity is nice because knockback kills your momentum. If you get hit once, it's easy to die just because of that if enemies swarm you. Which is why I think a shield... I mean, technically a shield is optional. You know what, I'll leave it in my vanity slot for the time being. I have no idea. It's kind of greedy to keep both of these, I think. But one of them increases my damage by 10%. I think that's hard to argue with. So here's the thing. The summon weapon that isn't in the loot tables for the dungeon, but can be crafted. That's just much higher damage. Oh, I just got that reference. Oh, my father references that all the time. Spinal Tap. This goes to 11. That's been flying over my head for so long. I've used this whip several times across multiple playthroughs. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna clean up my inventory entirely. And we're kind of running out of things to do in the first half of the game. I could look around the jungle for something, but that would be getting ahead of myself. So next time, I think I'm going to hell. Literally. Thank you for watching.